What's going on, little tinies? Leading the way with 63% of the crop planted. Also, 7% of cotton is planted. That's on par with the 5-year average. And we continue to monitor the winter wheat crop. Right now, just 32% of that crop is rated good to excellent. So slightly from last week, and only 30% was rated good to excellent. So what are corn prices going to do this summer? Well, we know more than we did 2 weeks ago. We'll discuss that next. And later, could this food favorite help the war in Ukraine? In details in the country.
Ag Day is brought to you by Germinator Closing Wheels. Germinator, it's not just any closing wheel. Reach your yield potential. Free shipping on all orders with coupon code AGDAY.
Joining us today, we've got Ted Seifert with Zaner Ag Hedge. Ted, as we talk about what's going on in this corn market, obviously we're quickly approaching that kind of kickoff for spring planting, if the weather holds, of course. What do we know about this market as we get started?
Well, we know a lot more about this market than we did about 2 weeks ago, and that is in the form of acreage. And wow, what a dramatic difference between what the trade expectations were and what we are actually dealing with from a prospective plantings number. Is a lot less acreage in corn, and that means that it really revamps the new crop balance sheet. The only thing that we have to go off right now is the USDA's or the Ag Outlook Forum's baseline numbers that we saw back in February when they gave us a 1.9, almost a 2 billion bushel carryover. But you plug these new acreage numbers in, that brings us down to about a 1.5 billion bushel carryover. We lost a 500 million bushels of corn due to acreage and lower beginning stocks. Now, on top of that, we're seeing big sales to China, 2 million metric tons in the last 5 days or so, or the last 2 weeks. And so that demand really starts to get cooking. So it's a much different outlook for next year's corn than what we had been thinking a couple weeks ago. Not only have we gone from a sort of blah to maybe even slightly negative story in corn, now we're at a bullish story to potentially really bullish. Because keep in mind, the USDA is using their trendline yield, which is 181 national average yield. We've not seen that before. That would be a new record by a fair amount. And you look at the drought monitor, you look at the cost of inputs, you say, it's going to be fairly difficult to get to that number under really ideal circumstances, if that is even the case. So it really puts us in a position where we may have to really start limiting corn demand towards the end of the year if we're trying to bring in as many bushels into next year and have that cushion for any sort of weather that we might have during this growing season, which we are already starting to be concerned about. And when we talk about acres maybe shifting back to corn, yes, the corn and bean ratio is very positive towards corn, really asking for those acres. However, with high input costs, that's going to be a drag. And the biggest thing is always weather. If we ever see a big shift, it's usually weather-driven. Right now, the weather is actually suggesting that we might actually see more corn, or might actually see more soybean acres. So that is also adding more fuel to the fire than the corn market.
Yeah, it's just so many things happening all at once. Ted, always appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. We'll be back with more Ag Day coming up in just a minute.
For professional marketing advice specifically tailored to your needs, call Zaner Ag Hedge at 312-277-0113. Time to farm equipment on Machinery Feed's April 19th online auction. No reserve, no buyer fees. Start bidding now at auctions.machineryfeed.com.
Arkansas seeing severe storms Monday, including large hailstones, tornadoes, and high winds. Luckily, just minor damage reported so far, and some power outages, but no injuries. But golf ball-sized hail did fall in parts of the state. Meteorologist Matt Yurosavik joining us here. We start with this severe weather risk because it continues to be pretty great for a big part of the country.
Oh yeah, we've got a large area of the country that we're again going to be dealing with hail and the potential for some isolated tornadoes as well. Then that severe weather threat has moved eastward as we head through today. The best chance for severe weather for parts of Indiana down through Illinois and all the way down to Mississippi into parts of northern Louisiana there, eastern portions of that kind of line, eventually setting up through parts of Mississippi and western Tennessee as well. The